Hey team, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's week is off to a great start. Coach Coral here, Team B.A.B.E Athletics. Very excited to be kicking off this first Tuesday with is going to be a weekly chat. I'm going to be taking up Tuesdays for a weekly training tip, and then Coach Ray is going to take Thursdays. So you'll be hearing, well, Thursdays, sorry, Tuesdays here on the page. And if you're interested in more training tips, philosophy, nutrition, all of that good stuff, be sure to take advantage of your free trial for the Team B.A.B.E community. Contact us if you have any questions, but lots of great stuff going on there with much deeper dives than what we're going to be doing in this Training Tip Tuesday. So anyway, probably since it's about lunchtime here in Florida today, I thought kicking things off with a very basic talk on fueling would be a good call. Can you tell that I'm hungry? But so just a couple, as coaches, we get questions all the time about when to fuel, with what should we fuel, and the various iterations. For me, it's not a one-size-fits-all prescription. So do know that sometimes it's going to take a few test runs to find out what works best for you. But here are just some key starter points to help you figure out what's going to work well for your body, your goals, and help you recover faster and get the most out of your training session. So the first consideration is the time. So how long is your session for? Typically, if you're doing zone 2, and if you're not doing zone-based training yet, zone 2 is about a 60% effort, your all-day pace, very low-key conversation pace. So if you're doing something under an hour at that pace, typically look at replacing fluid, so water, with some sort of electrolytes. That's just baseline, low intensity for under an hour. If you're doing an hour workout with some high intensity efforts, say at zone 4, you've got a really wild spin workout or maybe a tempo run at the track going on, consider adding some carbohydrate in there that's easily absorbable. A lot of our athletes will go with products like Scratch or Infinite that are very easy on the stomach and also contain some electrolytes, so you don't have to fiddle with a bunch of different fueling options. Talking about getting above that hour mark, even for lower intensity rides, you're definitely going to want to consider including that fluid, electrolyte, and calorie combo. Again, with something that is going to sit well in your stomach, be absorbed right away. So typically looking at something that is a hydration mix, something along those lines, just makes it very easy to manage. And you're also going to refuel all of those calories that you're burning through, so that you can maximize the effort that you're putting out in your training session. Other considerations when you are training in the heat, you may want to up your electrolytes beyond your typical prescription. So a good way to do that is to use something like bay salts, pink Himalayan salt. They're actually quite similar to each other, so either will work. Or if you're a heavy sweater, making sure that you're calculating your sweat rate. We can talk about that a little bit later down the line. So, but as a baseline, under an hour, low intensity, water and electrolytes. Over an hour, regardless of intensity, doing fluids, electrolytes, and calories. And high intensity of any duration, you're looking at getting calories in there in addition to the electrolytes and the fluids. I will say that if you're working out in the morning, and this can get into a more in-depth topic later at some other point, but while we're here, just wanted to mention fasted workouts. I, as a general guideline, do not prescribe fasted workouts for any of my athletes. Couple reasons here. So first off, your body is coming off 8 to 10 hours, and this is particularly in the morning, we're talking right here. If you have come off 8 to 10 hours of not eating, you eat like dinner at 6 o'clock, go to bed at 9, wake up at 6. I mean, you're already talking 10 plus hours of not eating. Your body needs fuel. If you wake up and immediately start getting into some sort of intensity, your body's going to start breaking down not only fat stores, but also muscle stores. So that catabolic process that happens, it totally defeats what that workout was intended to do, helping you burn fat. It actually doesn't quite work out that way. And especially for us ladies, if you're a woman, that's going to hit you even harder. It's quite hard for us to maintain the muscle mass that we already have. So anything that we can do to preserve the muscle mass that we have worked so hard to get through proper nutrition, strength training, hard hours on the road and in the water, you want to protect that as best as possible. So part of that is starting your day out with some good nutrition. If you want to get a little sciencey with it, I highly recommend reading the book Roar by Dr. Stacy Sims. She dives into this quite deeply, but there's also a whole body of research that supports her recommendations along these lines. So that's a wrap for today. If you haven't yet done so, again, I highly recommend that you hop in to the Team B.A.B.E community. We're going to be doing a coach Q&A on Wednesday, tomorrow, so bring your questions. It'll be a good space. We'll probably be on for about a half hour answering any questions that you might have in the way of training, nutrition, race strategy, you name it, we'll talk about it. So hope everybody has a great Tuesday, and we'll see you next time.